Hello and welcome to week 2 of English 101. I wanted to go over a couple of things with you. This is actually one of our, I hate to say the word easier, but we don't have a really long assignment this week. So this is still kind of a week that's easing you into the writing process. Last week in week 1, you wrote your personal narratives, which I'm still in the middle of grading, and you'll get the feedback back. Receive the feedback for that soon this week, so you want to be sure to check that out. So this next part that we're going to be working on is you're going to write a reader response, which means you're going to read something and then write a response to it. And one of the focuses of this unit is to work on your pre-writing skills and looking at the different types of strategies there are out there to do pre-writing. So let me point out a couple things here on the screen. So you want to make sure, let me just go back. Got ahead of myself. Oops. Okay, so Unit 2, so you want to make sure that you're reading everything in here, okay? So you want to start at the very beginning of the unit. And this kind of gives you an overview of what we're talking about. And you know, one of the main focuses throughout the rest of this term is going to be writing a good essay. So last week you wrote the personal narrative. We will not write any more essays that are anywhere near a narrative. Okay. That was just kind of get your feet wet and write about something that you know yourself. So you want to, kind of shake that off of what we did last week and start focusing in on academic writing, which will be completely different. Last week was focused on yourself and something that you experienced, but now you're going to be starting to write about topics instead of writing about yourself. So what that means is you're going to take yourself out of that. So you want to take out the personal pronouns like I and me, or we, or even you. So all of those are going to be kind of removed because we're going to be focused on the topic. Okay. So if we scoot over here to the next page, there's a couple things that I want to point out. So you want to read through here. Writer's block is one of the things that we're talking about in the discussion board this week. And if you click on this link, this takes you to some of the other reading that we want you to read, and it has information about developing ideas, so you don't have that writer's block. A lot of you are already starting to share some different things of how to overcome that, and I had put a link on there as something else for you to read and respond to in the discussion board. So here's all different kinds of developing ideas. Some people start with journaling, or free writing. Some people who are more creative and like to doodle would do something more like mapping or diagramming. So read through these sections as well. So these are some of the different strategies. Okay. And I want to point something out to you. There was a change this term in some of the pages. So there used to be a page in there called responding to a text, and it's not in there anymore. But I have something that I'm going to show you that is just as good that you're going to use for that, because that's what you're going to be doing. You're responding to a text. Okay, so let's go to the writing assignment. Ooh, look at all these great responses. That's great. Okay, so we want to go to the assignment. Okay, so you're going to find an article. Here it says a magazine article. So if you happen to have something laying around your house or a friend's house or a family member's house, that's great. But I also encourage you to use our library here to start getting you used to using resources outside of your norm. Okay, it's perfectly fine if you want to do that. But it's nice for you to get out of the norm and use our resource here at the library. Okay, we have an online library. So here is the assignment that you want to read. You're going to read an article and you're going to respond to it. Okay, so what you're going to need to do is think about what the article is. You're going to give information. It kind of, you might want to think of it as like, when you read a book or you're going to watch a movie or something, someone's already kind of written a review. So it's kind of along the terms of that. So you're going to be giving a response. Okay. So in that first paragraph, you're going to give the title of the article, the name of the magazine, or if you found an academic journal online, and the author. So this first paragraph is summarizing the article. What is it about? Okay. And then you want to write at least one paragraph, it could be 2 or 3, of sharing your reaction. Okay. So this isn't necessarily a formal essay, but that still means you want to have, good punctuation and complete sentences, and it'll be formal in that sense, but it's not a formal research essay. Okay. So you want to have at least 2 or 3 sentences with your reaction. And then after that, you're going to write another paragraph. So that's 1 with your summarizing, 2 to 3 with your reaction, and then 1 more. So that's a minimum of 3 to 4 paragraphs. This very last paragraph are ideas of what you could write about a possible essay. Okay, so if you see, this is kind of getting us started toward the research process where you're reading things and kind of coming up with a reaction and what did it make you feel? And also, is this worthwhile information? Is it a credible source? Okay, so everything that you turn in is MLA formatting. You're going to use the header and 1-inch margins and double spacing and all of that good stuff. So I want to click over here too, and this will be in the course. This is the announcements that I put together as kind of a newsletter. Oh my gosh, my face kind of blends in with the books there. So this is in the announcements that you can find. So I kind of give an overview. Each week I kind of give an overview of what we're talking about along with the due dates. And then also a reminder. So last week is the first time that you did the discussion board, and most of you did great. Probably the biggest thing that I noticed was not getting back in there to 2 different days. And we have that because we want to keep the discussion going. So we kind of like, if we were in person, it'd be like, if I asked you a question and then like if you answered it, but then you didn't participate in anything else for the rest of the discussion period. So you want to get in there and add to the discussion to keep it going. Okay. So some of you may have lost points for that. All right. So I bet everyone's going to get full points because I gave detailed feedback in the grade book for what I took points off. If you didn't respond to 2 different people, or if you were not active for 2 days, or both of those. Okay. So again, here's the reader response. The whole thing is going to be 3 to 4 paragraphs, with each paragraph going to have a specific purpose. So I'll be looking for those things in your assignment. Okay. And here is the link to MLA formatting, so you know what a paper looks like if you're not familiar with that. Remember how I said the one article is not in there, how to respond to a text? Click on this link, and it has some really good ideas about reading an article and responding to it. So that takes place of the page that's missing. And always, even though this is not a formal document, you want to make sure everything's proofread. In the age of using devices and phones and different things for typing, sometimes little things proofreading like capitalizing I or adding in punctuation, we're kind of getting used to quick typing, so some of that gets missed. So just want to remind you about that. Again, all essays follow MLA formatting, and I have this little picture here. So the top of your paper should look similar to this. This is MLA formatting. If you're familiar with APA, it's a little bit different because there's a title page, but there is no title page in MLA. You just have your information, your first and last name, my name. You can just put either Cornelli or Allison Cornelli, English 101, and then the date. You want to have a original title here centered, and if you notice, all of the important words are capitalized. So in and are not, but everything else is capitalized. This section here, sometimes folks have a hard time getting it under the header. If it's under 1 inch, then it won't get in that header. Which is part of that formatting on Word. If you have it inside the header, then it'll repeat on every page. So if you notice that that's repeating, then you know that you have it inside that, and you want to clear it out of that and place it underneath. But if you're under 1 inch, it'll be fine. Page numbering is, you want to go to insert on the ribbon bar of Microsoft Word, and that will help you with that. All you need is the last name, and then you want to have the page number starting on page 1, and then it'll if you set it up for starting on page 1, then it'll repeat on the other pages. Okay, and then your first paragraph is ended, and it's 5 spaces. A ½ inch is 5 spaces. Okay, beginning of each paragraph is indented in 5 spaces. So all of this is in the Purdue OWL guide, the online writing lab. Okay, and then here's the weekly schedule. Some of you have found out that at 11:59 the site closes and you can no longer submit papers. And here is the schedule. Here's a visual for those of my students who are visual learners. We are right here, week 2. Okay, so if you look, we're like a fourth of the way done, which is pretty cool, or will be by the end of this week. Okay, so this kind of gives you an idea of what's coming up. So we're busy every week. So this is the lightest week that you will have. So to kind of get you ready. Okay, if you want to download this same schedule, here is the link. Again, here are details about the discussion board. And then also, I have a little bit of a document here if you about etiquette ground rules. Typically don't have any issues with that, which I'm very pleased. Everyone's very cordial and follows, basic standard writing online in a forum. So that's awesome. Attendance, if you did not submit either the personal essay last week or participated in the discussion board, you are counted as absent. So depending on your financial aid or what's happening with all that kind of stuff with the financial aid office, they look at that. So make sure that by every Sunday you have assignments completed. So you just want to make sure you did that. So that's it. So here's all, here's my information. I tend to keep this on here each week so you can see it. I do want to go back to one quick thing while I have you. I'm kind of over on my time. I try to keep this under 10 minutes. But there's so much good stuff to tell you. So you want to be checking these announcements throughout the week. 2 or 3 times a week, I have announcements. So the newsletter just showed you will go on as soon as I get the video done to add to it. But if you want to look back here, if you have not looked at course policies, this is very, very important because this has all the information. I have some things in here to help you with time management and ways to stop procrastination. Again, I put the due dates on there. There are 8 due dates. We already have done 1, so 7 more to go. These are very important because as you saw on the schedule, we are rocking and rolling and we are moving very quickly. Okay, so just make sure that you know about the late policies, any of these, internet, computer, all of that. I know we all have them, but you want to make sure you have plan A, plan B, plan C. There's 26 different letters of the alphabet, so you need a plan for everyone. Here's how to get in touch with the help desk. Also, remember, you have free access to Microsoft 365, and that's really the preferred product that we want you to use because that's what everybody uses. That's what our Outlook is through. So you want to be able to do that. Okay. So emergencies, thankfully, we have very few of these. I mean, these are like the big catastrophe types of emergencies. Those require, different type of circumstances, and I will certainly work with you on that. But if you need, help with that, let me know. But if there are issues, please don't wait for a couple weeks and then tell me you had some major catastrophic thing happen in your life. Because you guys are professionals, I'm a professional, and I just ask that you give me that courtesy so we can all be on the same board. Because I want you to be successful. And so these types of things come with 25 years of experience I know these things are going to come up and I've heard them all. But I want you to be successful. So here are the due dates. Let's work together to get these in. And that's going to be your best ticket to getting the grade you want and being successful and checking this off your list to get to where you want to get that degree, right? All right. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please reach out. and I will see you in class.